Hey guys, it's been a while since I've seen you. And a friend of mine actually told me to check this out. And so we're going to check out this video. And I did bangs, and I'm not sure that was the smart thing to do. But anyway, I'm not sure if they asked me to do this to get a rise out of me, or if they asked me to do this because one, I'm a veteran, and two, I'm a peace activist of sorts. I'm not sure, but I'm trying to figure out the best place to put this. I think that's a good place, even though I'm in the middle of the guy's head. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way to not have all of this up here. I'll get used to it. Anyway, it's my first video, so be kind to me. And I'm sure I'm going to have a lot to say during this, so the video itself is 20 minutes long. With me, it'll probably be 30 minutes long. Just be nice. Here we go. Veterans and peace activists seek to find common ground, and that's what we try to do on this channel, right? Is seek to find common ground. Let's hope we can find common ground here.
Kill kids. It's not fun. And so desensitize is what we have to do because that is our job. It's a job.
Now, from what I've been told, there's like a moderator who kind of shouts out like a common statement, and then whoever agrees with the statement has to come back to the circle, kind of defend their opinion, and then everybody else can come back and discuss it. That's what I've been told. Because I've been asked to actually react to a couple of these middle ground discussions. They have quite a few. But this is the first one I decided to do.
Against that wall with excellent, I'm going to have all my veterans. The other wall on this side, I'm going to have all my peace activists.
Nice. So what do we got here? Okay, 3 veterans, 3 non-veterans.
The military brainwashes its soldiers.
Oh, wow. I don't think the natural inclination for a human being is to want to kill another human being.
Whoa! Already! It's already started. I don't know if you heard him. He said, the military brainwashes its soldiers. That was the statement that was put out there. I'm going to try to say this in a very calm, cool, collected manner. While I can understand why people would say that, as my mother said, I sent the army, my daughter, and a different daughter came back from basic training. She didn't mean that in a negative way, by the way. I had a little bit of an anger issue, a little bit of a rage problem for most of my life. That was gone. I still got angry. I mean, I still get angry, but I mean, it was out of control rage for a lot of reasons. But in my opinion, the military, yes, you do come back changed. Everyone who has ever gone off, even my best friend, when her grandson came back from the Air Force, she said, my God, he's a totally different person. I mean, yes, we come back changed. Not because we're brainwashed, because the military teaches us things like discipline, like self-confidence, like integrity, duty, honor, pride, not just pride in ourselves, but pride in our country, pride in our unit, pride in our brothers and sisters around us, honor to all those things. And you grow up a lot during that period as well. I mean, I was 27 when I went in, but when I came out, I mean, you have to take on so much responsibility. You're responsible for so much that even the little things, and you have to understand, a lot of the kids that come in between 18 and 24 are so poor or come from such poor beginnings that a lot of them didn't even, or they had just been coddled their entire life, that they didn't even know how to wash a load of laundry. They had never written a check before. Now, I know the check thing's a little whatever these days, but back then people wrote checks. A lot of them had never even had laces in their shoes, so they didn't even know how to tie their shoes. I mean, you got to understand, yes, they come back different. But then for this guy to sit down, and the very first thing out of his mouth is, it is not people's first inclination or natural inclination to kill. And the military brainwashes people to kill. I know people who retired out at 30 years and never even shot their weapon, never even, I mean, they shot it at ranges, but never at another human being. It's no one's natural inclination to kill, ever. And we don't want to. We're not brainwashed to do that. The military teaches us how to defend ourselves. They give us the tools we need to defend ourselves, to defend our brothers and sisters next to us. That's what they do. And they train us how to use those tools. But very rarely do we ever have to use them, except in times of war. And that is only because we have to count every night, every single bullet that is in every single magazine that we have. We are accountable for every single one of them. Every one. Unlike some militaries that I have worked with and trained with and deployed with, who can go willy-nilly shooting everywhere. We only shoot when our lives are in danger, when there is a barrel of a gun pointed at us, do we shoot. We have rules of engagement. They're called row cards. We have to carry with us, ROE, rules of engagement cards. And we cannot engage, we cannot shoot, we cannot engage unless all these different things have been met. So no, the military does anything but teach us how to kill. It teaches us how not to kill unless absolutely necessary. Sorry, I need a cigarette now.
There is a necessary requirement in the military to get you to perform a certain action. And in order for that action to occur, it is my
obey orders
theory that there is a part of changing the way that you think in order to take somebody from a human being and make it a target so that you can achieve a goal.
Everybody else, come on in.
They had
This boy's
asked,
gonna cry
are
me.
the military desensitizing soldiers? Are they manipulating them mentally? And I would have walked over here.
I would have walked over here too.
Brainwashing
Brainwashing is
Well, I don't know, man. It's just like I even watch like the advertisements for the military, and it just seems to me.
But the one thing you brought up was killing. It's no one wants to do it. I know I don't want to do it. I know
So
I didn't
what
want to do it.
flips
duty
you
soldier.
if you have
So
to
yes,
kill?
use the word desensitized.
Oh.
We're desensitizing ourselves because we have to. We have to move on.
I just think that that's kind of my point, though. In order to get from that spot where you don't want to kill another human being to where you look at it as this is just my job.
But it's a choice.
Yeah, I know
it's
that.
not brainwashing. It really just comes down to either that guy at the end of your muzzle or you. And I want to come back home to my family.
Yes.
War is a necessary evil.
I don't buy that.
Okay.
This is a tough one. I
I think that there's a point between a just war and an unjust war. There are certain wars that, maybe we shouldn't have gone into, like maybe we shouldn't have gone into Iraq, right? And then there's certain wars where World War II, where Hitler was advancing to Poland. I think that's definitely a just war to get into. I mean, he was trying to kill Jewish people.
Yeah, and in that case, you could call it a necessary evil. There is a time that necessary evil has to happen, and in that, you don't even maybe call it a necessary evil. It's just a necessity. The action itself has to take place.
Disagrees.
As long as we leave this on the table at war is a necessary evil, it really just excuses almost all, all wars. Because if it's what's excusable, right? When does it become necessary? If you really want to see a peaceful world, you have to just get rid of that.
Because the key word there is a necessary, but I don't believe that. I don't believe it's necessary. That it's the only way for you to obtain your objective is war. That's the reason why.
I thought you were disagreeing with evil.
No. I mean, well, yeah, war is not evil. I mean,
not.
Yeah, it's not. Have you ever had an argument, but you had good intentions?
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So, to speak on the word evil, I don't really agree that war equals evil as well.
He's right about that. War isn't evil. The people in a war, or some of the people who start a war, are evil. But war itself is not evil. The act of war is not evil, but some of the acts in war and the people who commit them are evil. I've seen it. The Holocaust, for example, was evil. The people who committed those horrendous acts were evil men. Same with Afghanistan and Iraq.
World peace is possible.
Probable, maybe not. Possible, yes.
Yeah.
When you get humans together and find a way to find common ground, to find the similarities rather than the differences, that's when you have a possibility at peace. And I believe that it is something that is possible. On a grand scale, is it easy? Maybe not, but it is possible.
Low key, the blonde right here with the beard, he's a veteran. I think he's a liberal, like I was. The other two guys clearly are not, but I think he is.
World peace? I want that to happen, of course. But it's so much easier said than done, I think, because just the way that we were taught.
We all want world peace, but let's say a culture in Africa thinks that genital mutilation is perfectly fine. Are we going to be perfectly fine with that? Are we going to be able to talk them out of it? I don't really think we are, because they have their own customs, their own culture. So the only way we can kind of get them to accept our culture is through some sort of violence.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Through some sort of violence? Okay. I do not agree with nor condone. He's talking about female circumcision that happens in some African countries and cultures. Here's my thing, right? These cultures have been doing this for thousands of years. Thousands of years, okay? Who are we? Who are we, the Western world, not just the United States, but the Western world? Who are we to go into these villages in Africa and tell these women, and tell these men that we don't like what you're doing, we don't approve of it, therefore we are going to forcibly demand that you quit this practice? What if the women don't want to stop? What if they think that is the way their culture is supposed to be? what that would be like us coming here, them coming here and telling us, well, none of the boys here in the U.S. can be circumcised anymore. Now, I'm not Jewish, but I had my boys circumcised. It's becoming less and less of a thing now. I'm hearing. I don't know, but my boys, I had them circumcised, even though I'm not Jewish, for different reasons. But it would be the same type of thing. Who are we to tell them what to do with their bodies in their own country, in their own communities? Now, the women who don't agree with it and come to this country asking amnesty for that reason, and we give it to them, that's fantastic. I'm happy about that. But for us to go there and, as he said, attack them or have some type of forcibly tell them that they can't do that, no, no, no. That's all I got to say about that. No.
That's dangerous. I do believe that the quantum of people
Hey, baby,
that
come here.
would prefer peace
Come on.
to conflict is growing, and that's what gives me hope.
I would die for world peace.
Absolutely. I have grandchildren. I would die for world peace.
So if it meant if I die, the world would be at peace, well, yeah.
All those veterans should be
Look,
sitting down. And
I've had some amazing adventures on planet Earth. I've had the greatest of friends, the greatest of families, seen the best concerts, seen some beautiful places. If it meant that happened for this place to be A-okay, groovy, do it.
I'm sorry. I got to back that up. Check this out. You guys got to check this out with this. Hold on. Let me get back there for a minute. Okay. Check out, I'm sorry, this blonde guy with the beard right here, not the vet, but this other guy, he just is grating on me. I mean, I just don't, and I have some friends like him too, but I just, like everything he is saying, it's like, dude, you're seeing everything through the wrong lens, my friend. But when he talks about going to concert, how he's lived such a full life, going to concerts, hanging out with friends, traveling all over the place so he wouldn't mind getting a bullet in the head. I want you to watch the vets, the active duty service members' jawline as he's saying all that. He is like grinding his jaw, his whole jaw is tight. Just look, it's funny. That's what we do, by the way. We grind our jaws when we get upset and we can't say anything.
Well, yeah.
Look, I've had some amazing adventures on planet Earth. I've had the greatest of friends, the greatest of families, seen the best concerts, seen some beautiful places. If it meant that happened for this place to be A-okay, groovy, do it right now. Like I had a good run. I got 35 years. That's more than
35 years, man.
I've got more than twice those years. But more importantly, I have 2 grandchildren and a third one on the way.
Yep.
And really, I had to think about it. But if I could do that and bring them world peace, let alone all the Lexis and Charlies around the world, that's easy.
And like life is so beautiful, but for me, I believe there is a life after my life, and there are many lifetimes.
Me too,
yeah,
sister.
if I had to die for world peace,
I'm with you.
It's me versus 7 billion human beings.
Yeah,
like,
it's not even a question.
Initially, when I heard the question, I thought, man, what a dumb question. And then, Steve, your answer actually really made me think, like, oh, wow, I actually elicited like a really beautiful response when you're talking about your grandchildren. You know, I'm like, I'll think a little bit more about this question. And I realized, you know what? If I say I'm willing to die for peace, well, gosh, when's the last time I did anything to actually promote peace? So I'd be like, wow, I'd be really full of shit if I said that I would be willing to die for peace. I wouldn't be able to even take the most basic steps towards actually contributing something to.
But those basic steps totally matter. But also living a life of purpose is a life that's lived moment to moment to moment. So simply you, by being you affect people. Like you see, I only met you for half an hour, 45 minutes. You got a good head on your shoulders, and wherever you go, you leave an imprint. That's true for all of us.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want to die, and I'd rather do those things. I'm in a peace group that has met every Friday morning since 9/11, 16 years for 2 hours every Friday to work on these issues. So I think really, I sometimes say $1 a day and an hour a day.
I know someone who has died in combat.
Wow. Look at all the vets. All the vets. Yep. Me too, guys. I'm with you. Only the veterans sat down. Did you guys notice that? Only the veterans and active duty soldiers sat down. So all those guys who are all like whatever, anti-soldier, anti-war, the military brainwashes you, all this kind of crazy shit. None of them know a single person who has died in combat. Why am I looking this way when the camera is right here? Because I'm used to looking sideways at you. That's why I'm not used to this new program. None of them know a soldier that has died in combat. I'm sorry. Damn you for making me do this video and get all emotional. I'm trying. This is starting to get me in my feelings now, and I need to stop.
Yeah, I know a lot of, I mean, not like tons of people, but it's, a dozen or so people. But my closest friend who was killed was his name was Chris Domay, and he had a wife and kids. It was pretty sad.
I've deployed 7 times now, and I'm scheduled to go back out in March for my 8th back to Afghanistan. But I think there was probably 1 or 2 deployments where we didn't lose someone.
I don't know if it's appropriate. What taps into your courage to keep going back in the face of losing these guys?
Yeah.
Before he answers that question, I want to take a stab at this and say that after all these years, because I deployed 6 times, after a while, it's easier for us to be gone and be deployed. That feels more like home to us than being home. After all this time, it's still hard for me to fit in or feel like I fit in with the civilian culture and people. That's why I work with veterans. That's why I volunteer with veterans. That's why I have very few friends who aren't veterans. And in fact, the good friends that I have actually work on base with veterans, so they know how to work with and talk with veterans. But the fact of the matter is that we have our own language. After being in, and I'm talking about longtime veterans, I mean, people who have been in for 10 plus years, after a while, we have our own language. I mean, it was, and not to be funny, but my mom at one point said to me, she kind of laughed and she said, I'm starting to learn all the acronyms now. I can actually have a real conversation with you, because you don't realize that you talk in acronyms, because everything in the military is all acronyms, But it's not just that. We have our own language. We have our own sense of humor. There's different protocols, how you act, when and where, and even our laws and our justice system is different. And our grocery stores are different. When I got out, it felt so foreign to go to a civilian grocery store. Thank God I went back to going on base and shopping. I still shop on base at the grocery store there. It's just so much easier for me. But but I think he's probably going to say kind of like the same thing. Maybe he's going on his 8th deployment now. It's not courage at that point. It's a brotherhood, a sisterhood. It's family. You're not going over there for courage. You're going over there to support family. And that's what it boils down to.
It's for me, it's not only just a job. When I say job, I think of family. I think of putting food on the table, roof over the head of my family. And then second to that, or pretty much tied for first, is the guys next to you. You know, I went to high school out here in LA and really didn't have a future in college or anything. And we grew up poor and homeless at some points. But joined the military, wanted to serve my country and really just have something stable. And as it evolved, it's like this big family you're part of. And you're part of something that's bigger. And I don't mind deploying because I know I'm with family.
I think I'm blessed that I don't know anybody who's died in combat. So, I mean, yeah, I don't understand what you guys have been through, but I applaud you, all of you guys, for, like you said, putting food on the table. Because in my head, I was like, there's so many jobs out there. Why this one?
When you're a soldier, you're making a sacrifice. So thank you, by the way.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think as Americans, we appreciate anybody who makes a significant sacrifice. It's kind of the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah.
No kidding.
We're done. So
so
this exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks for your
Good luck to you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I so respect what you're doing.
That was very fun.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely confident.
Thank you for checking out that video. Much appreciation. We get to do what we love because y'all watch our videos. So if you really love us, you'll continue to keep watching videos. There's more right here that you can check out. You probably haven't seen all of them. And if
Okay, guys. So this is, I don't know if I told you before, but this is Jubilee. They do a lot of kind of like social construct videos. They also are in partnership with Cut, who does other types of videos like this. Not like this. Jubilee is like the serious side of Cut. Cut does more interesting videos. We'll do a Cut video and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, very socially conscious. They're the type of people that I enjoy watching, and they attack the type of issues that I want to attack and talk about. I should have never gone back to bangs. I hate them. Anyway, so if you guys like this video, if you guys have some stuff you want to say about it, if my bias definitely showed through, which I think it did, really only with one person. I think the older gentleman was fantastic and genuine. I think he really does want to make difference in this world. I think the young woman was honest in her, I don't want to say ignorance, because that has grown to have such a negative connotation to it. But really what it means is lack of knowledge of something, which is what she has. She's too young to really know anything about the war. She doesn't know anyone who has passed away in it. She doesn't really know any veterans at all or active duty soldiers. So she doesn't really have a frame of reference other than a non-frame of reference. And she's honest about that. And when she thanked the soldiers afterwards, she was genuine in that, right? You could tell the more liberal soldiers, the more moderate soldier. The liberal soldier was what I used to be. The moderate soldier, the guy with the hat, is who I am now. And then the conservative soldier is every guy that I served with, just about. And he's your typical, you could tell who he was as well, you know, button down, whatever. And those are your three guys. But the guy that had just the blonde floppy hair and the beard and I traveled and went to concerts and I lived a full life and I'm like blah blah. Everything he said sounded so. It wasn't that he was a liberal. That didn't bother me. You can be a liberal. I grew up with liberals. My whole family's liberals. Bunch of pot smoking liberals, all of them. I don't care about that. You can have that view. I have most of those views. My problem with him was he was just so contrary. He was just so flippant about the whole thing. And even when he thanked everybody in the end, it was just kind of almost like backhanded. You know what I mean? It was not sincere. And I think I don't think he was being genuine. And that's just my opinion. So, yes, I think my bias kind of came through, but in the end, I think I was also speaking from my heart, and I was giving you my honest opinion. I don't agree with the Iraq war. I don't agree with war, period, in a lot of things. I actually posted on my Instagram a big thing about war. I don't know if you guys follow my Instagram. My Instagram is right up there on the thing. So if you guys ever follow my Twitter or my Instagram, you'll actually know how I feel about a lot of these issues. Anyway, please like, comment, and subscribe, and take care of each other, because no one else is going to, right? Have a great day, guys. Bye.